With competition heating up in the housing market, many buyers are facing multiple offers. So how can you make your offer stand out? Eddie Campos with RE/MAX is here with us to go over some strategies you should know before submitting a bid. So are things picking up right now because the interest rates look like they're coming down a little bit? That's got to create some activity.
Yeah, so the beginning of the year for January 2026, mortgage applications were up 40%. That's a great number. That means people are done sitting on the sidelines. They're paying attention to the interest rates. So speaking of interest rates, I just spoke to Mark Carr over at Genoa Bank. He said he just approved someone for a 30-year mortgage at 5.86%. So hovering around 6%, give or take, depending on what day you go over. That's very competitive. That's a 15-month low compared to where we have been.
Yeah, because that's like between a 6.4 and a 5.8. There's probably a lot of money there in a monthly payment.
Absolutely. And again, people are done waiting. You know, they've been waiting for a while, trying to see when interest rates are going to come down. There's a lot of positive talk. Dr. Lawrence Yuna of the National Association of Realtors, he's our chief economist. He's predicting we're going to be 14% up this year. We have a new Fed chair that's going to be coming in. Yeah. Everybody's been talking about at least 1 or 2 more credit points being brought down with interest rates. Those are all a perfect storm, which makes it ideal for us to be able to talk about how can you make your offer more competitive if you're going to be in a multiple offer situation.
Well, let's start with the first question. We've got several questions to go through. Can your realtor have a conversation with the listing agent prior to determining what you offer? So in other words, so you would go to the homeowner's agent and go, correct. So what's he looking for here? But the price that he's asking should set that, shouldn't it?
Yes and no. So there's a lot of other things that happen. So, and the reason I specifically said can, it's not unusual that I'll go out to show somebody a home at noon and highest and best is 5 o'clock that day. So sometimes you don't have the time to be able to make those conversations happen. But ideally, I'm going to call the listing agent and find out what's important to the seller. They may say that the most important thing to them is they need 60 days possession after closing because they're waiting for their house to get built. You know, that's a scenario that would be critical for them. So the price isn't as critical. So learning that will make a big deal for you and try to make your offer more attractive to somebody else.
All right, next up, can your realtor do a market report? Average sale price, highest and the lowest sale in the neighborhood.
Right, so now when you're starting to judge where am I going to put my price, what's fair for the neighborhood? It'd be ideal to know that. But again, I specifically said can because sometimes time isn't going to allow for that.
Next is how to determine your offer price. Play the prices right with yourself.
Yeah, so I had a specific client coming right out of COVID. You know, they had told me, listen, Eddie, our highest offer is just going to be $300. I'm just telling you that. The home was listed at $285. We made our offer of $300. We did not find out, you know, we didn't hit the winning offer, right? And after that, we found out that the winning offer was $305. And he goes, well, I would have paid $305. Well, that's not what you said, though. Right. So when you're looking at these scenarios, you kind of have to play with yourself in a way that you're going to say, listen, if I heard that I lost this house by $5,000, would I be upset? Then your number isn't 300, it's 305. And then if it's 310, would I be upset? Then your number's 310. And if you just say 315 is my max, that's your true number.
So you want to know what your client's top. I mean, if a house is they're asking this, you want to go here maybe to see if they'll take it. But if you have to, you can go up here.
Right, and again, you want to be talking to your realtor, you want to be talking to your lender, and you got to do some deep thinking on some of these things, right? Because ultimately you have to do what's right for you. Because I'm not going to tell you that, Dan, your pre-approval's up to $325, you need to offer $325. It really just depends on a lot of things, and that's an answer that I give a lot of my clients is, it depends. Let's analyze what the situation is before we make those offers.
We've got less than a minute here, but other options is pay your own home warranty, pay the seller's listing aid. A lot of ways, in addition to dollars, you can make it happen.
Correct. And down at the bottom, I have a couple of things here that are a little extreme, like having a limited inspection or waiving your inspection or waiving your appraisal. So to go backwards a little bit, coming out of COVID, in 2022, 30% of people writing an offer waived their home inspection. 32% of people waived their appraisal. That's how much they wanted to be in that home. I'm not necessarily being an advocate for that, but those are things you can do. They seem a little bit extreme. Some people may say, hey, I would never waive my inspection. But if you've missed out on 5 homes and you need to get into a home, you might consider it.
All right, Eddie, thank you so much. Eddie Campos, the dream realtor right there.